Hi, I'm Cactus Frog, and welcome to my channel where I explain the different books of the Bible. We last talked about the Great Flood with Noah and his sons, and we talked about how Ham is going to be a servant to his brothers, Shem and Japheth, right? So, their descendants start filling up the world. And they start working together. They live in this city. We built this city. And they start building a tower. They're like, we're going to build a tower to God. And then when we get up there, we're going to have words for him about that whole flood situation. No, I'm just assuming. And God sees them building this tower. And he's like, oh my God. Oh my me. Oh my me. They're getting a little high. He turns to angels. He's like, they might just do it. They're working together too efficiently. We need to put a stop to this. So he sends down a little God magic, and he makes it where everyone starts speaking different languages, okay, so that they can't work together. So I'm going to confuse them. And that's exactly what happened. I'm assuming they're working on a tower one day, and suddenly everyone's speaking Arabic and French and Japanese, and they're all like, we obviously can't finish this. We don't know what we're saying to each other. So that project was scrapped, the Tower of Babel. And that's why it's called the Tower of Babel, because you're babbling. And so now we're going to pay attention to Shem, one of the older brothers that didn't do wrong, okay? He is like 500 years old. He has some kids. His kids have some kids, and that just keeps going on until we get to Abram, right? So Abram, he's raised, and he's like, we'll call him like a spoiled rich kid, right? He's living with his dad. His dad goes, oh, I'm going to move to Canaan. He only gets like halfway. He settles down in Ur, and Abram's raised there on wealth. He's very wealthy, okay? God goes to Abram. He says, leave all this comfort. Leave all this wealth that your father has built. Take only what's yours and go wander. Go to this place I'm about to tell you, okay? Which is the land of Canaan. And Abram's like, oh, that sounds difficult, but okay, I'll do it. And so he takes his wife Sarai, and he takes all his servants and stuff, his flocks, and they start heading to the land of Canaan. And they're there for a while, going up and down, wandering the different parts. And eventually a famine hits. So they're like, oh, we can't stay here. And they go to Egypt, because everybody's always going to Egypt for some reason in the Bible. But they get there, and Abram turns to his wife Sarai, and he's like, you're so beautiful. And she's like, oh, thank you. And he's like, no, you're too beautiful, okay? You're going to get me killed out here in these streets. So I'm not your husband. I'm your brother. If anybody asks, I'm your brother, okay? Because if I'm your husband, they're going to kill me. They're going to try to take you. That's the rules of the world right now, okay? If you like a woman and she's married, kill her husband, take her. But if I'm your brother, they're going to try and win my favor. They're going to try and get you fair and square with some goats or something. So what he said happens exactly. The Pharaoh finds out about her. She's so beautiful. Pharaoh's like, I want her to be my wife. Starts giving Abram gifts, goats, right? I assume goats, camels maybe. I don't really know the animal layout back then. But he gives them animals as gifts. And he takes Sarai as his wife, if you know what I mean. But then terrible plagues start falling on Egypt and the Pharaoh. And the Pharaoh's like, oh my goodness. I guess God tells him, or tells one of his like shaman people, like, hey, that's somebody else's wife. So Pharaoh goes to Abram, why would you do this to me? She's your wife. Don't you care? Now I got plagues on me, because I didn't even know. So he's like, take her back. I don't want her. She's bringing terrible luck into my life. And he sends them away. He's like, take your possessions. I'm not even gonna mess with you. Just leave, please. Which is not gonna be the last time a pharaoh begs somebody to leave because of the plagues. But we'll get to that point later. Anyway, so Abram takes his wife, his nephew, his possessions, and he leaves, goes back to Canaan. I'm assuming the famine has fixed itself or whatever. And they get there, and the land is beautiful. As expected. That's why God told him to go there, because it's amazing. But there's just not enough space in this little corner for both him and his nephew Lot. and all their stuff. Because Lot's got some stuff. So he's like, Lot, you know what? You get first dibs. Pick wherever you want to go. And you can have it and you go over there. Because there's not enough space for what we're trying to do. And Lot's like, okay, cool. I want that valley over there. It looks very beautiful. The one near Sodom. And everyone's like, okay, bye. I'll see you later. So Lot, I think, almost immediately regrets his decision. Because he goes over there. And very quickly, there's a war of rebellion going on. I guess there's some kind of king over the kings in this situation. The king of Sodom and the king of Gomorrah and some other places, they're like, oh, we're going to rebel against the other king. We don't want to be under him anymore. So there's like a war going on. Sodom and Gomorrah's side is losing. And the other king of a lamb or something comes and his people take victory, and they take what's rightfully theirs because they won the fight, which means they take all the good possessions and people and stuff for slaves. Now Abram is like, oh my God, I gotta go save my nephew and all his stuff. So he gets his 300 men servants that are trained, which sounds like a lot of people to be in charge of, but he gets them, and he goes and fights and wins. Wins the battle that the other Sodom and Gomorrah kings couldn't win, because God is on his side. And he takes back Lot and all his possessions and stuff, and all the possessions that was stolen from Sodom and Gomorrah's kings. And he comes back. And the other kings, the rebel kings, we'll call them, they were like, oh, you're amazing. Just let's have our men back and you can keep everything else. That's your reward. And Abram's like, nah, I'm good. God's going to bless me. This is y'all's. I don't want y'all coming back later saying, oh, the only reason Abram got it like that is because we helped him. No strings attached. Going to keep y'all's. I'll keep mine's. And that's exactly what happens. But Melchizedek, he's like a priest. He's like, before you go, let me bless you real quick. Lord, thank you. May you bless Abram forever and ever. And Abram's like, that's good enough for me. Thanks. And he goes his own way. Lot goes back to Sodom. Again, he's going to regret that decision. And things kind of slow down for a bit, right? So while things are settling, God comes to Abram. He's like, hey, I'm going to bless you. I'm going to make a promise with you, a covenant. Okay? Your descendants are going to outnumber the stars. And through you, all the nations of the earth are going to be blessed. And Abram's like, I'm old, but I mean, I don't know how that's going to work. I ain't got no kids. What's the point of all this wealth? I don't have kids. And God's like, you don't even worry about that because I'm going to give you a son. Okay? I don't even worry about that. In fact, I'm going to make a covenant with you, get some animals, cut them in half. I'm going to hover between them. This is going to be a promise, okay? It's a super special God pinky promise. And they do that, and Abram believes him, but I think over time, while he's waiting for his blessing to come, his belief starts to dwindle here and there, right? So Abram's like, I guess I got a son coming. I'm waiting. And he's 99 at this point, okay? 99 years old. And God comes back to Abram. And he's like, look, he keeps, multiple times in this story, God comes to Abram. He's reminding him, remember that promise? I'm not going to forget it. So you don't forget either. Just, you need to be patient. You need to be faithful. Okay? He wasn't patient. Really, Sarai was not patient. She goes, look, I want a baby. I don't even care whose baby at this point. Take my servant, Hagar, get her pregnant so that we can have a baby around here. Because I'm very sad. I really need a baby. And Abram does that. He's like, okay, whatever. He gets pressured by his wife into, I guess, kind of not ignoring God, but not being patient. Okay? So Hagar gets pregnant and she switches up immediately, right? Because she's like, oh, I'm the one who's pregnant now. She starts treating Sarai with an attitude, okay? She's the servant, but she's acting like she's the head mistress in this, you know? So Sarai's like, she gets upset about this attitude that's coming from Hagar, turns to Abram, this is your fault. You should have never laid with her. Woman, you asked me to. But whatever. That's not on me. I don't even care. That's your servant. Treat her how you feel she needs to be treated. I really don't care about this situation, okay? Because God said he got me. And so Sarai's like, okay, fine. She starts treating Hagar terribly. So bad that Hagar runs away. Because she's like, I'm not supposed to be treated like this. I'm pregnant. And she's being very mean. Hagar runs away into the desert, falls down or something by a spring well. And God sends an angel. And angel's like, go back and lose the attitude while you're at it. Because there's nothing out here but desert for you. And she's like, I don't want to. And God's like, go back. Okay, look, how about I'll make this promise with you. Your descendants will also be very wealthy, and there'll be a bunch of them, okay? Your son's going to be the father of kings or princes. He's going to be father of princes. So just go back. And she's like, okay, God, I'll go back because you're right. Ain't nothing but desert out here. And she goes back. Now, again, God comes to Abram the upting time. He's like, look, remember our covenant. I promise you, like, you already made a son. Ishmael is on the way. Okay. That's not the son I was going to send to you. I'm going to need you to stop doing stuff on your own. So now we need to mark this like our clearly the pinky promise was not enough. Okay. I need you to not forget. So I'm making a covenant with you and your people. Y'all gotta get circumcised. Everybody, all the men, from 8 days old to you, 99, circumcised today. Okay, because words are not enough. Now y'all need a physical mark on your body just to remember. Because forgetfulness is your middle name, I guess, Abram. And while you're at it, your name's not Abram. Your name's Abraham, okay? I'm changing your name. Your name means father of many so that you don't forget. I got this promise with you. Stop trying to do stuff on your own because now you got a baby with this woman and I gotta bless them too. So, that's exactly what Abram does. He cuts off the tip of his thingy thing and he changes his name. And God, a third, fourth, fifth time, sends a message. Remember the promise. I'm sending you a son. Name him Isaac. And Abram still doesn't believe it. To a point where he's laughing to himself. And Sarah overhears it eventually. And she also is laughing to herself. I'm old. I'm not supposed to have no baby. And God's like, why are you laughing? Is anything too hard for me? I'm God. And she's like, I didn't laugh. And he's like, and now you're lying to me, to my face? I'm God. I know you laughed. I heard you. And she's like, I didn't laugh. Really gaslighting him. Crazy. But God's like, okay, whatever. I know you laughed. And you know what? Son's name's Isaac. This is why I chose his name to be Isaac, because that means he laughs. Now, your son, his name's going to be a reminder about how you didn't believe me. I did not extend you a baby, but I already made the promise. Because you really don't deserve it, Sarai. Your name's Sarah now. I'm changing your name. It still means princess, but now with a Canaanite accent. Your name's Sarah. Okay? So now we got Abraham and Sarah, old as dirt. And God said, look, here in about a year, I'm going to send you a baby. I promise. And they're like, okay, I guess we'll wait a year. I don't really believe you. I'll believe when I see it type situation. We're going to get to what happens when the baby's born, Isaac, and all the blessings and trials and tribulations that come his way. And we're also going to get to what happens with Lot over in Sodom and Gomorrah, because that's a crazy story, on our next video, because I think this is a long enough video. Anyway, thank you for sticking with me through this part of Abraham's story. And don't forget to like my video, subscribe it, and share it. That way you can be ready for the next one, because the Bible just gets crazier from here, honestly. Like, I'm so excited for when I get to Moses, because he is my spirit animal, Moses and his attitude. Anyway, I hope you have a good day. Bye.